So first off, it was a hospital ransomware that affects patient lives. In the beginning, the ransomware locks down all the devices, including the PIXIS system, which is helps people in hospitals pull out critical items such as painkillers, anything that requires approval. This is the device that logs the who pulled it out, when they used it, timing and tracking. That is locked down, so they can't access critical medicine, and they have to break it open, as you saw dramatically with the fire axe. The next thing that happened is after the hospitals is ransomware, after everyone realized that they were ransomware, they start routing non-critical patients or other, they become inundated, so there's no one who can work here, so they route it to other hospitals.
Okay.
Now, this is important here because that is a real problem. So in other cases, historically, according to HIPAA and to other reports we have on cybersecurity, that's when hospitals become the most dangerous due to ransomware or cybersecurity events, is when they have to reroute other patients to hospitals who are not advised to take them, who can't take you, who are not at that level. So this is the one where there could have been deaths that we don't record directly to ransomware, because instead of going to that hospital, they were just routed silently to another hospital. And that's really important that the hospital, that this show actually did show that. They said, hey, we got to take everyone out and take them up to another hospital.
Yep.
The other thing that they went through is the on-site backups and clouds were also encrypted. They specifically said the attackers broke in 30 days prior.
Yeah,
They
they were dug
waited
in for sure. Yeah.
yeah, they even say that they were in there for 30 days ago, and that they waited for the on-site cloud backups to sync so where they can get all of them. So that was there's someone who did their homework here. So they talked about the actual encryption method as well as the backup process, and that's exactly what real world hackers are going to do. They're going to look at those backups, they're going to lock those down, and they're going to make sure that everything you have is useless at this point. Then the show has insurance come in. An insurance salesman or insurance individual comes in and starts performing the negotiation with the group. So incredible. Like this was a detail that someone sat down, was like, oh, this really happened, so we're gonna have to add this into the feature, into the episode. So they have this slimy.
What is the site where you can go to see the logs of ransomware negotiations, the chat apps?
Oh
It's
man, there's
ransomware.live
we're
or like
live
it's
ransomware.live
something
is
like
usually
that.
the good one. So yeah,
Yeah.
they have that, and then they have some negotiations there, and this is a person whose job is to perform that, and of course he screws it up, and they get angry,
Yep.
and just like in real world situation, this happens a lot, and so then the attack escalates where they say the ransomware operators are going to destroy hardware with a botnet worm. All right, so as every so watching through the episode, it was an immediate headache when you get this, you're just like, okay, whatever, so they apparently the hackers get into the MRI units and all this other, and the X-ray machines and all these. Okay, however, I want to say that I don't really want to spoil it for anyone, but I'm gonna go in anyway. So the IT administrator and the girl in this show, she absolutely rocks. She is way better than any IT administrator. Like she needs a pay raise, salary like 6 times higher, because to restore this, she has a physical hard drive restoration where she finds a hard drive that was synced up before the data sync, but it had coffee spilled on it. So
Yeah.
so she is literally taking spinning hard drives and moving them from platters to platters interface. This happens in this episode, and she does it in a
Okay.
hospital environment. A+ for that.
Mhm.
But then as she finds a problem in the encryption, which it happens with ransomware sometimes, as we all know, there are some free decrypts apparently out there. But the important thing is, she says that they were lying about the botnet worm, and that in order for them to have the skills to hack MRI units and X-ray units and things like they say, it would be physically impossible. They have to be the best hackers in the world and have to have those available hardware to them. They actually point that out in the episode. So
Okay.
A+, whoever worked on this, good job. And that's also an actual tactic that ransomware operators will use. They will say that the damage is worse than it actually is in order to make individuals pay higher amounts or pay the money
Got it.
on time.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I know hospital environments are pretty complicated in a general sense, but to have immediate access to every single like medical device that's hooked up to the network and have a wormable a botnet worm that could affect
Yep.
all of them like unilaterally seems a little, yeah, seems kind of like a fairy tale, I guess. But yeah, if that's used as a scare tactic, I could totally see that happening in real life.
And that's exactly what happened. They used it as a scare tactic in the episode. It's actually it was super great. Like if anyone finds out whoever did the hacking, consultation on this, hats off to you. You did a great job.
That is
But
Greg Linares saying congrats and accolades to the person who did this. That is no small congratulations. So good job.
And the most important thing, I thought, they did this with almost no UI, no hacking UX, none of that in there.
Mm-hmm.
If you go ahead and hit the next slide, I think I just show exactly, this is all they had. They show her restoring the hard drive in the top left. Yep. And then they have some BIOS boots up, and then they had the actual restoration of the backups on there. That was all they had. That was all they were able to convey, this absolutely pretty good hacking scene with just that.